As South Africans continue chasing away fellow Africans from their country, they are being reckless, and it's going to have a ripple effect to businesses owned by South Africans, but also to South Africans living in the diaspora. Nigerians came out and announced. Here in Uganda, an MP, a Rastaman, came out to also lead a demonstration after losing his own daughter. That Rastaman went on South African business, MTN and other establishment, and said these statements.
I'm a Rastaman. I don't want another name. Because seemingly Pan-Africanism has come to a dead end. People don't care. I have been to Durban, Pretoria. I first went to Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, Johannesburg. I know how many illegals are there. The Arabs, the Indians, and the others. I have known them because, I know how to speak about 1% of Hindi. And I will discover that kind of thing. But look at the South Africans attacking black people. And we simply sit back and we can't react. Really? In my own home, the young man called Nasima Ronald, we are planning to bring the body. Beaten and thrown in a sewer. It's good that the friends, the Ugandans, equally were beaten, were able to retrieve the body and attack. Nasima Ronald, 29 years, is dead. Why should a South African be here? I speak this with the risk of me being arrested. But even when you are legally here as a South African, please go out of here. Go out of here. Standard Chartered Bank, Stanbic Bank, MTN, DSTV. We are giving you profits, employ Ugandans, not South Africans. And I want to incite Ugandans in a humble way. Ask these people to go back to their country. In a humble way. Don't live here, breathe this good air here, and you think that you are, Cyril Ramaphosa is our father-in-law here. His son marries from Uganda. We also wonder how you can kill. There is no problem having illegals in South Africa. There is an international way of evacuating them at their cost. Put them in a holding center, ask Uganda, and then later on transport them back to Uganda. That's the official way. That's what all governments internationally do. There is no law which says that any illegal must be killed. When you are getting profits from here, how much does MTN harvest from you daily? How many billions? How many billions? What about Standard Chartered Bank? What about Stanbic Bank? What about DSTV? All of them South African corporations. Let me give you a bit of history. 1989, we were with refugees of ANC and others. One of them was close to me, I remember, who I helped because I was a rich boy at university. I was doing business, my own business. He was called Forza. I don't know that we'll ever trace him again, but he should be there in South Africa. He was like a brother to me. We were in political science classes together. And he told me a situation when he was in Libya, how the Libyans were real against them. Uganda is a heaven. He went to South Africa. Now you are the people turning against us. When you needed us at that time, we gave you safe haven. Today, you think that you will create jobs because you have chased. I've been to South Africa and I know their problem. I know their problem. I think Cesar Rhodes was right to kill you people, poisoning you in the 1800s something. Cesar Rhodes. I think he was right. These people are used to violence. And we need to meet the violence to them. Show them that we don't want them around Africa. I'm happy with Nigeria and Ghana, getting them out of there. We also need Nasima Ronald, 29 years old, killed in South Africa. We must have revenge or avenge or anything like that. Surely. And I want to advise the South Africans who are residing here. I know many of them officially. Please go away. Or else we are inciting Ugandans against you. We are inciting Ugandans against you. xenophobia, Afrophobia, whatever phobia, we want also to be phobia to you. Surely, I'm speaking as Musira, a nation of Uganda. One who knows South Africa better. There is a young man in Pretoria called Apole Muganda, who has employed over 1,000 South Africans. He has the biggest school in South Africa, taking a full street, renting all races there. Apollo is an investor. How do you tell me that you simply chase out somebody like that? You see, the property they have left, and we want to document the Ugandans who have come, escaping and leaving property. We should also grab the property, their property here, just like Nigeria has done, just like Ghana has done. That's the best way. Tit for tat has no harm. Hammurabi's law should apply. You see, Hammurabi's law should apply. 1776 before Christ, it should apply. Because we can't have a black person attacking another one. Where did you get an Indian attacking another one? Eh? Where did you get a European getting another one? Trump is protecting the white people in South Africa. Just simply by word of threat, he's already getting them into America. And then these stupid people really attack black people. You are called Muchomo. That young man called Muchomo. Fire burn you. You should die. The blood of black Africans you have killed, you should die. You are even a Sangoma or Mulaguzi. Sangoma in South Africa. In Zulu is Mulaguzi. This one is a Mulaguzi. You are a Dracula. Eating people's blood. You Muchomo is called Muchomo. Fire should burn you. Idiot. Yes,
South Africa. Yes, TV is there.
Yes, we can go there. If you can cross over. The other institution of the South Africans is PSTV. Without blocking their work, we want to say, please publish to the nation the killing, the Afrophobia these people have. If there is anyone who is South African, black here, not only here in Bala, I know they are not there, but we are trying to demonstrate that they should leave the country. I want to incite Uganda against the South Africans who are killing our people. Our only son in my constituency, Ronald Nasima, was killed in South Africa and thrown in the sewer. Imagine, there is no law which says that an illegal immigrant is supposed to be killed. Ugandans come up against their installations. We are not saying they should vacate. We are saying any South African working in this installation should leave. Let them go back to their country. They can reap profits from here. We can employ for them. We can give them employment by Uganda to run their institution. DSTV, GoTV, Stanbic Bank, Standard Chartered, MTN. Let them go. Let them go. Because while they are killing our people in South Africa, these ones are enjoying the airs and the good climate of Uganda. No. I want to incite all of you to tell them in a humble way, let them leave this country. Let them leave this country. Because they can't kill us. Let us do it like in Nigeria and Ghana. I'm here without blocking anyone. And because I know these are younger people employed by this institution. I want to thank you, but take it that way. Thank you.
That is the MP, I think, for Bobolo East. When such things happening, first of all, the South Africans are doing it in a crude way, to an extent of killing people. I understand that since South Africa is a second world country, many African countries, it's easier for many African countries to go in South Africa to look for something to take. For me, I believe that them, even when they are handling immigrants, they must only deport those who don't have papers. But you cannot go on the street, even people who have been there for 20 years, established business, having employees with papers, and want to bring them back. That is not called for. Most especially when you have South Africans, the same South African living in other countries. Even Nigerian, I heard a speech of a certain Nigerian speaking about this. He also said these statements.
But we must tell the South Africans that nobody is a custodian of violence. Nobody is the custodian of madness. So we are also giving South Africans from now to the end of the month to exit Nigeria with their businesses and their establishments. If not, the measure with which they treated our people in South Africa will be applied here in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
That is Nigeria. And if such things continue, there can cause a ripple effect on what's happening, what's going to happen across the world where South Africans will be taken on. You cannot continue killing fellow Africans. And remember, in 1994, that's where South Africans got an independence. The people who were in the forefront of fighting for South Africa to gain their independence were fellow Africans. Mandela, ANC, we are found in Mozambique, Zambia, etc. Even here in Uganda, fellow Africans fought for these South Africans to get independence, and there's some people who are now paying us back in a wrong way. First of all, I thank Julius Malema for being a Pan-Africanist. He came out and lectured them that they are doing the wrong thing. He told them off. Malema said these statements.
Stop hating on your future employers. These people are going to hire you. They are the most polite people. Even when they are educated, they still work for small jobs that pay nothing. They don't have pride. They know that you have to work to serve and feed your families. That's why they are here. One day, like it almost happened in Cuba when Obama wanted to lift the embargo against Cuba, one day it is going to happen. I pray to the ancestors of the revolution that it happens when I'm still alive, so that I can replay these videos and say, I warned you about harassing your future employers. I warned you about exploiting the people who are going to share their land with you because they've done it before. Why didn't Mugabe take the land immediately? He waited for you to get your freedom. Because had Mugabe take the land immediately, it would have caused a serious problem to a point where South Africa will not be liberated. They were a frontline state. They gave us a passage. They accommodated us. We stayed in their homes. They gave us food. They gave us shelter. They never called us names. Today it's our turn to say thank you. We become animals. It is not the spirit of Ubuntu what you are doing to these comrades of Zimbabwe. Comrades, the white people, the way they control us, we love them and we say they give us jobs. But the way they've made us to hate each other, even if a Nigerian was to come here and create 100,000 jobs, you will...
That is Julius Malema. And for me, if they don't handle it very well, they will cause businesses like, for example, in Uganda, we have MTN, Carters of East Africa. If you see an MP demonstrating outside MTN, demonstrating about outside a bank owned by South Africans, later you may call people to go on the streets to also drive South Africans home, not only in Uganda, but all across the countries, because there are South Africans who live in other countries. It is the truth. I also agree there are some immigrants who come with crime, who don't have papers. Those are the ones who are supposed to be handled by government, not even being killed. They must be handled by government and deported, or given some small jail sentence. But going on a person who has a business in a country, who has papers, who legally works in a country is bad, because, and most especially a fellow African, okay, it's not good. It's not good business. So South Africans should understand that they must rewind the clock where Africans fought for them, where they trained their soldiers to fight for independence. Because South Africa was away from South Sudan and I think South Sudan only, is the last African countries that attained independence, carters of Africans fighting. So if they are driving away fellow Africans, They must drive away only those who don't have papers, who don't qualify to be in a country. You cannot drive me away when I have a work permit, when I have papers, when I came legally, citing you are taking my job. That cannot be, most especially for a country that is a beacon of Africans. There's a reason why South Africa is called South Africa. It unites all Africans for as long as they have papers to live there. Of course, since my PM is truly Mr. Makin, Kabisulaiman Magal. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I can motivate you to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.